April 14th, 2023. And this one is going to be about increasing your intelligence. So I worked as a cognitive trainer for a couple years, which basically means that I helped people improve their cognitive skills. So memory, attention, visual processing, just processing speed, all of these different brain attributes, basically. And I'd help people increase those so that they could do better in school or at work or whatever it was. They read better. A lot of it was with kids who were struggling in school, but the principles are applicable to anyone. Basically, the idea is that your brain works like a muscle. And so if you exercise it, especially intentionally and with high levels of stress, like you would put on a muscle, you have to push it with high levels of intensity. And if you do that, your brain skills will become stronger. So it's something to think about if you're needing a boost anywhere in life, really, that requires thinking. So if you've found that you're really getting stuck on problem solving at work, maybe you could spend more time, trying to understand the problem and learning about it and trying to improve your knowledge of the problem so that you could solve it. But you could also come at it from another angle, and you could try and increase your ability to problem solve by increasing your logic and reasoning and your memory and things like that, so that you could better attack these problems that you're getting stuck on. So that's one application of it. If you need to learn a bunch of new skills for work or for anything, if you want to learn how to garden in your free time or something like that, and let's say it requires a lot of knowledge. I don't know much about gardening, so maybe that's a bad example. Maybe you want to learn how to fix your car. Okay, so this takes a lot of technical knowledge. You can spend time learning that knowledge, but you can also improve your brain skills, your cognitive skills, so that you can better learn things and learn them quicker. And this is often translatable to different areas of life too. So you don't have to just do it with regards to learning how to fix a car. You do the brain exercises, and then you can apply it to fixing a car. You'll be better at learning those skills, but maybe you'll also better be able to learn how to play an instrument or something like that. Or maybe you start reading faster. So these brain skills, once you train them up, you can apply them to a whole bunch of different areas in life. I've often thought it would be really cool to get like a pro sports team involved and see if training a bunch of minds of athletes could lead to better performance for them. I mean, you think about it, athletes need to use their brains all the time. They're making split-second decisions, and if you can make a decision 0.2 seconds faster, that's a big difference in a competitive professional sport. So I've always thought that would be a cool application. But there's lots of different ways of doing this, and if you want to be very intentional about it, I'd suggest going to a place like the place I worked at, which was called Learning RX. They have those all around the country, so there might be one by you. It's kind of expensive. There's also different brain training programs online that are a little cheaper, might not be quite as effective, but really just thinking about how you're using your brain day to day. If you're just watching a bunch of like mindless cartoons on TV, your brain isn't getting much of a workout there. If you're actually reading books or practicing an instrument or something like that, those things are going to get those brain skills involved a little more. Or you could do stuff like trying to remember people's names when you meet them. That's one I struggle with a lot. I often will meet someone and then I forget their name. But if I practice it, and sometimes I'll even keep a list of names in my phone and write it down right after I'm done talking with the person to help me practice remembering and get in that habit of doing that over and over again. And eventually, if you do it, it gets stronger. So again, it's like building a muscle. First you start out with a small weight and it seems like, oh man, I can't really do much. But over time it gets stronger and stronger. And so, yeah, maybe you suck at remembering names right now, but if you keep practicing long enough, eventually you could get really good at it. And there's actually this rapper called Harry Mack, who's a freestyle rapper. He just comes up with these incredible raps right on the spot, and it's amazing. But he intentionally practiced that as a skill, and so his brain is able to function like that now because he's taken the time, and he'll do these like rhyming exercises, and he doesn't just do the same thing over and over. He pushes the intensity of these exercises and stuff like that, and it's paid off, and now he's just phenomenal at coming up with freestyle raps on the spot. So it's good to think about how you're using your brain, and this is important in terms of what kind of information you're feeding your brain to. Again, are you feeding it mindless crap, or are you feeding it like deep, solid ideas and reading books instead of short articles on the internet or whatever it is? Is there a way to deepen your thought and to wrestle with bigger concepts and things like that? So, something to think about. That's 2 videos for today now, so that's all I got. Peace.